All right. Let's.
Speaking of HubSpot,
So, what do you want to tee this up, this video, and then we'll play it and watch it? So,
yeah,
this is GTM or GTFO, where one of us brings something for the other to react to. Chris has got a video she wants to show me.
yeah. So I subscribed to Kieran Flanagan's. He works at HubSpot. He's like their VP of marketing. And he posts a lot about AI. And so this week's video was about a LLM called Deepseek R1. It's a Chinese owned and outsourced model that you can use. And he talks about how to use it to do analysis on your marketing data, your marketing campaign data.
Okay, so there's like a part of this video that we want to watch first, or should we go skip forward? All right.
So I give it a quick snapshot of campaigns. And so what it shows you is these B2B campaigns, basically campaign name, start date, end date, budget, ROI, type, target audience, channel, conversion rate, and revenue. The reason I'm going quite quick is because this is a short form video for all of you on LinkedIn. If you want the full video, as always, it's on the Marketing Against Screen podcast. If you love updates and insights like this, they're going to be much more regular for my newsletter subscribers. I don't know why I'm not going to put a link there. Go to like LinkedIn profile and sign up to my newsletter if you like these things. So I give it the whole list of B2B campaigns, and my prompt is pretty good, right? Because what it says is it gives you the company, which is a SaaS company selling a product to doctors. It gives a bunch of the core benefits of that platform, talks about my target audience, private clinics, hospital administrators, solo practitioners, medical consultants. So really getting specific on the target audience. And then I say, analyze the performance of each campaign, considering the product details and target audience, identify patterns or trends, and provide actionable recommendations to optimize future B2B marketing strategies. But I do something clever. I also say, look for external trends that I should be mindful of when I'm targeting doctors, or because there may be external things that happen in that industry that I really need to know that will affect the success or failure of my campaigns. And because it's hooked to the web, I want to showcase that it can do that. Now it thinking for 27 seconds, right? Imagine a world, but prior to AI, how long would it take you to think through this problem? Not 27 seconds. Internal monologue, sounds like human, super cool. You can go through this. Like, look how much thinking it's done, right? It breaks down the problem. It's really good in terms of its output. It gives me the key metrics and observations. So it says, here's the things that I've observed, right? Highest ROI, lowest ROI. It figures out that in-person and interactive events are doing really well. Solo practitioners, we need some help here on content marketing. Figures out some stuff around LinkedIn outreach. But this is where it gets really good. Patterns and trends. So it looks at the internal trends and it says, hey, group practices are responding really well to webinars. Hospital admins are preferring in-person events. Solo practitioners. Then it says the external trends. So there's some things in here I wouldn't have known. Q1 is when clinics have their annual planning cycle and decide if they want to buy software or not. June, content marketing obviously is not good because of summer. May, industry conference. It coincides. So conference season for doctors is actually in May. Talks about some healthcare trends. Then it provides a bunch of actionable recommendations that were all really good. Tells me exactly what I should invest in, what I should divest in, what I should make better. Talks about how I should really allocate my budget. Then it goes into some risk mitigation. So I said, oh, cool. Just build me the webinars are doing really well. Build me the entire calendar. And then it builds me the entire webinar calendar, inclusive of the quarter, the title, target audience, the key value proposition, the description, and the suggested time, and taken into account the internal and external trends. And it provides it all for me. And so, let's just say, what have we done here? We've done 27 seconds. We've done 15 seconds. We've done 42 seconds. We've done the analysis.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. And I'm just going to go back so I have the image in front of me. So GTM or GTFO. So I've actually got a lot of thoughts on this. Thought number one. That data looks pretty clean to me. I'm like, most companies I don't think have like that perfect ROI data by channel, by audience, by campaign.
They have a target audience even by campaign, which actually was the cool part to me. But then I think about how people run campaigns. It's usually not to like one target audience. It's usually to like multiple.
Yeah, like this is obviously it's a fake data set. You know, he's making this up. Like,
Yeah.
Not making it up, lying. Like he's obviously told us. Like it's
Right.
You know, it's just like manufactured
like
data.
LinkedIn outreach.
It's
as a campaign.
very simple. Like the AI was like. First, I'm going to talk about like the things I thought were kind of funny and on the negative side, but like
he gave
it was like, oh, webinars. You should do more webinars. The ROI is 0.5 compared to. It's like I can see that looking at the table. We should do like webinars have a higher ROI. I would say that when you added up like 27 seconds for this, a few seconds, 15 seconds for that. Now add up the time it would take to make sure you have all of the data architecture to have all of this reporting so perfectly laid out, right? That's a lot of work, and I think this is the most annoying thing about ops in our space. And if you're in ops, you're listening to this, I'm sure this is going to resonate. How much people underappreciate what you need to do to get your data in the right place, data intake, how you're standardizing your data, how you're capturing your data, all the processes that the people have to follow to make sure you have good data, all of the integrations, all of these things you have to do to get like a table like this is a shitload of work.
Yeah.
And you're never going to get it that perfect. It's always going to have certain things with it. And it's always going to be like very nuanced and probably complicated. So I think like that's not 27 seconds plus 15 seconds of work. Now, assuming you have got your data in the right place, then I think the next barrier is it's never as simple as this. There's things like, you know, source-based attribution, multi-touch attribution, like what models are you using? They're going to give you different answers to the different questions as well. So you're going to have to feed it all of your different models and get it to analyze all of that. Obviously, it's going to be a much bigger data set than this is just 5 rows of data, right? And like 10 columns. Now you're going to be giving it thousands, millions, potentially rows of data, you know, dozens of columns. Like it's going to be, and multiple models and multiple, you know, things that you've been tracking. How good is it to be able to like process through all of that? So a lot of this, my first reaction is, interesting enough, looking at that, but in actual practice, and this is one of my big issues with a lot of what I see about AI is like, and even I contributed to this a couple of years ago when I was doing some of my videos, it's like a lot of the conversation is, right, imagine the possibilities of if it could do like this in the real world. And like there's a lot of speculation. I haven't seen true receipts of someone showing me with real Salesforce data, real data in their BI tool, AI being able to perform like really good analysis beyond what, you know, maybe a human could do. Like adding up the seconds, yes, this was quick, but a human could have come up with the exact same insights in a few minutes too, based on that table, right? So,
like, if my data was that clean, I could draw.
You know, do more webinars, right? It's basically what it said. It's like, and it's come up with a quarterly webinar. So I think.
I do like when he was talking about like the external.
It came up with like different things, like the seasonality.
But then people should know that. It's like, hey, marketers, you should know your seasonality. I'm like, but the one thing that I thought was the most interesting was when it went and created the content calendar.
Yeah.
So like, that was interesting.
Speeds up things for sure. Yeah.
And it speeds it up, and so I thought that was cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I do see the possibilities. I think people just need to realize like where you would layer this on, and insights is when you have good data. And
I need to see it. I need to see it like in real life. I think that's like.
And also, like he's obviously not feeding it with HubSpot's campaign.
Yeah, I think when you're in ops and you work with data every single day and you see how hard it is, you see how people struggle,
skeptical,
and you see how bad it is in so many companies, and you go, put AI on top of like most companies' data, it's just going to give you completely the wrong thing to do because the data is wrong. Right. Like imagine if actually this was a real example. That table is the table you had, but it was the underlying data was completely wrong. Like someone had put like $2 of spend on their webinars, and that's why it had a better ROI kind of thing. And now you end up going to do loads of webinars, but it's just because someone entered the cost data wrong. Like, this is the bit that people need to focus on, the underlying data, get that in a good place. The insights can come easier when you have the focus on the foundation. And yes, AI one day will help maybe in both of those layers. Where I'm wanting AI to help more is in the layer, the underlying layer, the data layer, like making sure how we can clean our data, getting it standardized, making sure that we have accurate data, and then, you know, helping us once we have the right visualizations or the way to look at the data, then help analyze it. I mean, both are interesting. I just don't see us like that close to it yet. So definitely not GTFO. GTM is exciting, and maybe in a couple of years we're there. But I think I just need to see it in real life first. This is an interesting video, but it's not real.
Yeah. So his talking point, just to also add clarity, was like Deepseek R1 is very cheap compared to, say, if you're using like OpenAI. It can do a lot of it can run a lot of data for like pennies instead of even just paying like the $200 a month or something like that. So my GTFO for now is like, you're giving your data to China.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even think about like whether we should evaluate the model, because it's like, I was thinking more because like you can do the exact same thing with ChatGPT. It has like its thinking model that can take longer to think. So I think I wouldn't trust it. But
I wanted to say that because actually that was where his conversation started, was comparing this to OpenAI. Yeah. So and like, look what you can do for like really cheaply, and imagine like possibilities where you could do this for pennies, you know.
I mean, but you can do that exact same thing with OpenAI, just the $20 a month plan. It has like the thinking model where I do like that 27 seconds of thinking, and like it honestly looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think I said it in our predictions episode. I think everyone's kind of overestimating what we can do in the short term, but I think we're still underestimating maybe what it's going to look like in the long term. Maybe we get to this world where AI agents are scrubbing our data, going through everything, building the models, and giving us all of the insight one day. I don't see it like in the short term, but it's super interesting, and we're going to keep testing these things and keep exploring it and trying to figure it out as we go along.
Yeah.